October gave a party. The leaves by hundreds came. The chestnuts, oaks, and maples, and leaves of every name. The sunshine spread the carpet, and everything was grand. Miss Weather led the dancing. Professor Wind the band. That poem was posted on Facebook by a friend of mine. You may know her, Reverend Ann Schmidt. And wow, when I read it, I said, I love the fall. I just love it. So I'm going to take a survey here, informal as it is, and you're going to get to vote twice. Your favorite season. Whose favorite season is fall? Raise your hand, please. Okay, about half of you or so, maybe more. Why? What do you like about fall? Just yell it out. Colors.
Smell.
What else? Coolness, crispness. Cool. Sweaters, yeah. Excellent. How about winter? Whose favorite season is winter? Well, we have what would be called a minority here today. What do you like about winter? The snow. Okay. How about spring? How many like spring? Yeah, there we go again. That's almost half. What do you like about spring? Summer's coming. Flowers. Green. Oh, that green, that spring green you don't see anywhere else. And what do I have left here? I've done 3. I guess that leaves summer, doesn't it? How about summer? Whose favorite is summer? Oh my goodness, that might be the largest one. What do you like about summer? Warm. Vacations, yeah. Wow. So, well, the title of my talk today is Everything Happens for a Season. And thank you for checking it wasn't a typo, Dallas, because I'm very capable of making those, so thank you. Our fall cleanup yesterday we had here at the church had elements of the season to it. We're getting ready for winter. But you know, what I believe is, and what I found is, that within each season is a season. And what we see in that season and the portions of it have a lot to do with the law of attraction, and let me tell you what I mean by that. We look at fall, we say, oh yeah, colors, that's my favorite season, right? One could also say, oh yeah, fall. You know, you get all the color, but then you get into November and December, it's dark and it's cold and it's rainy. You ever been in a November rainstorm? It's cold. I don't like November. Winter, oh God, the ice and slipping and the snow, and the snow. It's the law of attraction in action. Whatever we think about and focus on gets bigger and bigger, and we just feel it more and more. And the seasons of the year remind me of the seasons of life, which is a rhythm. I think there's a rhythm to everything we do. Certainly there's a rhythm in the seasons. Even within each season, there's a rhythm. In the October Science of Mind magazine, one of my favorite magazines, according to author Karen Russo, she says, rhythm is the sustained forward movement of life. Don't all our lives have a rhythm to them? Rhythm, she says, is the vitality of creation. We create rhythms, as I alluded to, by what we focus on. And what we focus on, just as with the portions of the seasons we focus on, creates the experience of our lives, doesn't it? Sure. I mean, most people are a lot happier at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon who work for a living than they are at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon when they work for a living. I mean, there aren't many TGIM restaurants out there. It's all what we focus on. Every sentient being on this planet has its seasons. For we humans, we have the season of birth and infancy, adolescence, puberty, adulthood, senior years. And each of those seasons have a season within them. We cannot limit ourselves by saying I'm this or that. I mean, early infancy to late infancy, there's an enormous difference. I can tell you this, there's a huge difference between early adulthood, like when you're 20, and later years, like when you're 77. There's a difference. But it's all adulthood, isn't it? So we can't say I'm this or that. We get to choose always. Life is a choice. I'm going to shift gears for just a moment here and go to a story in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10. This is where Jesus sends the disciples out on their own. Okay? He says, okay, you guys, go out now all on your own without me. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. He says, freely you have received, now freely give. And then he says, do not take any gold or silver or copper in your belts. Don't take any money. Take no bag for the journey or extra tunic or sandals or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. He's sending them out with any of the life necessities a man of that era was dependent upon. Without a staff, that staff was for protecting himself from animals, from robbers, who knows? Yeah, but it was the custom of the day that if a holy man needed housing, you would give it to him. Right? So they had to trust that that would be the case as they ventured out into strange lands, never been there before. Much of what they knew, much of what they depended upon and relied upon, including each other, would be gone. And they're going out there with nothing. And I'm wondering what season of their lives they were enjoying in their relationship with Jesus at the time Jesus sent them out. I'm kind of thinking, maybe they were experiencing like a summer. It was warm, comfortable, not a lot of change going on. They were comfortable with Jesus, comfortable with others. They were dependent on each other. Sounds like kind of a summer to me. And now they're like thrust into a spring, an early spring perhaps, like in March when everything is just brown and laid down because the snow is on it, and there's life coming, but you can't tell by looking. They may have felt that way. the rhythm of their lives was completely disrupted, wasn't it? But yet they were still creating one in their minds and with their imagination. I wonder what they were thinking about. What were they imagining? What were they focusing upon? I mean, they'd spent a couple years with Jesus. Would they rely on his teachings and prayer? Would they rely on the supporting probabilities they might encounter? You know, similar to those whose favorite season is fall, remembering the beauty, maybe Thanksgiving celebrations, thinking of the good stuff, and ignoring the darkness and the cold at the end of fall. So maybe they were thinking, okay, they're going to ignore the problem and say, well, okay, maybe someone's going to house me. I will obtain food through the kindness of others. I will have faith. I have faith that this will happen. Or did they just see the fear and darkness that lies ahead in the unknown? Kind of forgetting all their teachings? Ever do that? Where will I stay? What will I eat? Man, I'm going to be all alone out there. I don't know anybody. In the book, The Rhythm of Life by Matthew Kelly, he says, everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. He says, this is life's greatest truths and its hardest lesson. It's a great truth because it reminds us of our power. Everything's a choice, everything. Not power over others, but the untapped power to be ourselves and live the life we have imagined. Because we create the life we live through our choices. And when we imagine, as I said earlier, we call forth the law of attraction. What I'm imagining grows and it reinforces everything I see. I see everything through that filter. So the disciples would have been imagining the life experiences that await them, either the beauty of them or the darkness of them, all in their minds, before they ever set foot out there. That's what we do. Life is choices. Don't ever forget that. If you forget everything else, life is choices. We have chosen to live this day. We have chosen to attend this church today. And we have chosen the people we call friends. Life is choices. And unlike the planet we live on, which is kind of just stuck with the seasons, we get to choose the season of our lives right now. I don't care how old you are or what's going on in your life. You get to choose and I get to choose. Right now, we choose. I could say that, well, I'm in the fall of my life. That's my season, for sure. However, within that season, there are other seasons, as I alluded to earlier, aren't there? Lots of them. I retired from active ministry leadership in 2016 and became a personal and business coach, and a few months ago became the part-time minister of our church. So in my coaching career, kind of in the summer, things are kind of cool, kind of easy. It's nice and warm, But in my ministry career, I'm back in the spring. Everything was new here. I knew a few of you and had met a few of you before, but everything was new. And I'm going to be a grandpa again. I've been a grandpa for almost 2 decades, so I'm back in the spring of being a grandpa. So where are you in the season of your life? And don't be applying the label everybody else might apply to you, because you get to choose. Everything's a choice. Everything. Remember, rhythm is the sustained forward movement of life. Create a rhythm to our life that keeps us moving forward. That's creation in action. What rhythm are you creating through the choices you make? My suggestion to everyone with ears to hear, as our elder brother Jesus would say, examine the rhythm of your life's seasons. be sure to find or create a springtime in your life regularly. Regularly. Springtime where you experience the new green of knowing, new experiences. I'll ask you to focus for a moment on this church. What's the season of this church? Well, you know, you've been through the winter of dormancy created by COVID, that's for sure. Okay? And typically following winter, we experience spring. We're back together in person. Does it feel like spring? Does it still feel like some aspects of winter are hanging on? Well, you know what? It's your choice. Makes it a little harder for a church without a full-time minister. I understand that. But we all still have choices. And you have an interim minister coming near the end of this month, leading you into what could most definitely be a new spring. New attitudes, new perspectives, and a new full-time minister rife with the possibilities of growth. In some ways, you're like the disciples continuing on without some of the structure and people you've known in the past, having to rely on faith to foresee an exciting future. And, you know, I'm thinking of those of you who have been part of this ministry for many years. A fair number of those you shared time with here are gone now. A few have left the area. So a few are still in the area but unable to attend for various reasons. And some have made their transition to the next dimension. Some of what you knew is gone. And now you need to move forward with a spring in your step, you might say. So what now? What season will you, your interim minister, Reverend Carla McClellan, who you will meet in 2 weeks, and your board create? Mark your calendars for October 23rd. I'll be introducing Reverend Carla to you on that day. She would lead you on a probably 3 to 6 month season of change for sure, leading you into a summer of new perspectives and a full-time minister search. And whatever you encounter during that time will be your choice. By means of your participation in this process, you will create the season and the rhythm of this ministry, won't you? In 2023, next year, this building, this structure will have stood here for 60 years. So the building is likely in its summer, late summer, early fall of its life. But there's lots of life left in this structure. We know that. The question is, how much life remains in this ministry? That's the question. Or in each of you as you participate in its next season, in its next heartbeat of rhythm, because you're the ones who are really going to make it happen. Yeah, you need Reverend Carla and you need the board, but it's you. I mean, you're the main body here. You're going to make it happen or welcome it. Matthew Kelly in his book says, there is a great modern paradox We know the things that make us happy. We just don't do them. Avoid making the mistake of standing by the windows, looking out, wondering where the force is to grow us back into a thriving ministry. Instead, stand by the windows and turn around and look within this building, within this ministry. That's where your greatest resources abide. You are about to inherit the proverbial three-legged stool of growth and prosperity. Three legs are, no offense to any of these, Reverend Carla, your board, and you, the congregation. If just one of those legs is less committed than the others, the stool will wobble. You ever been at a table in a restaurant and one leg is short and you lean on it? Well, that's what will happen to the stool that supports this ministry if all three of those legs aren't really committed to this process. The ministry will wobble, and the excitement, prosperity, and the community you all crave will be elusive. You choose the food you eat, the clothes you wear, and the thoughts you think. You choose to feel appreciative or ungrateful, supportive or critical. That'll be your choice. And running through this very day and every day to come is the thread of cause and effect. Y'all are the cause of this ministry, and you'll be the effect. You'll feel the effects of it too. Our minds soar to new heights when fired by potent, constructive emotion. I mean, when I think of fall, I think of the colors, I think of, man, the colors are so beautiful. We usually go to Devil's Lake, Wisconsin, and the colors are enormous. I think of Thanksgiving and this celebration. I just feel good. And I just get in an upward spiral. Anybody going there with me? But at the end, you got November, and it gets so freaking cold. And then you know what? You set your clocks back, and it gets dark at 4:30, for God's sakes. And, I'm starting to slouch. The only thing that changed were my thoughts, and every emotion I just felt was real. Even though we were kind of having fun with it, I still felt those emotions. That's how powerful our thoughts are. Our thoughts are things. They have hold on us, and they create more things within us. So I invite you to choose to be excited about your church. Choose to be committed to your church. This is your church. And be committed to creating a rhythm of healing, cleanup, and growth in attitudes and perspectives as we enter your new season. You all are going to choose what the season will be. What are you imagining? Imagine with intent. Imagine what you want. Like the disciples. Imagine you're going to be fed. Imagine you're going to find food. Imagine you're going to find a place to sleep. Two weeks from today, you will enter the spring of your new community. A community to heal your past and create your future. My final question to you is, what are you imagining? God bless you all. You're on a great journey. Thank you so much.
Reverend Tom, thank you so much. He suggested today, for today's service, actually very witty song, Turn, 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 which you all know. To everything, turn, 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 there is a season. turn, turn, turn. And there's a time for every purpose under heaven. And a time to born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill for Putin, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep, to everything.
What did you say? A time to kill what?
I said a time to kill for Putin. Yeah, yesterday, unfortunately, I've been drawn to internet and Russian news about war, all these opinions. So I was just overwhelmed. In the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, Cindy texted me that she's not going to make it today. So, and I was thinking what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sing Turn, Turn this song by myself. So, it was everything for season and for reason, and I found online version of this song. David Lenz, who you all know, created instrumental version of this song. And I practice after 7 o'clock on my piano headset. And I'm going to play for you today the first time, this version by David Lenz.
Wow, Tatiana, thank you so very much. Oh, that was beautiful. And I don't know why all my notes are in color here. What's going on? Okay, we would, in orange, we would like to welcome, a special welcome to all of our new guests. If this is your first time here, please raise your hand and keep it raised if you would please, and our usher will bring you a welcome brochure and a contact card that you can turn into the bookstore for a free gift. Anyone? No, we're all Unity community here today. Okay, so we will move on to our announcements. And our first announcement is to please continue to wear your mask as much as practical when in the community with others and other members, as COVID is still, unfortunately, a serious problem. This week, on a better note, this week, the flowers were donated by Brenda Smith in memory of her nephew, Sean. May you rest in God's pocket. Please remember to remain silent in the sanctuary before the service and to clear the sanctuary quickly after the service so that those who wish to take advantage of the pre-service or private prayer time with a chaplain may do so in a quiet and respectful environment. Thank you. Our food drive continues with updated lists of critically needed items, and they're posted in the fellowship hall along with a collection box, and there is a red bin for the collection. The pantry picks up donations every other Monday, with the next pickup being October 10th, so please continue to support our neighbors in need. Today is Ask the Board. So if you would, please return after a short break following the service to hear updated information and what's new. And we've already heard a hint. The hospitality team is looking for volunteers. Team members make coffee, provide snacks, either purchased or homemade, and set up for the fellowship after service on Sunday. If interested in this opportunity to volunteer, please contact Janice Rowe or the office. Another opportunity to serve is for the youth fellowship, and you can make a difference. The youth and family ministry team has an opening for class assistants, and once a month would be helpful, and training is available. See Miss Carolyn or email her at cdenoon@gmail.com. And we ask you to start working on your costumes now, because a party will be here on Sunday, October 30th from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. We will have fun, games, and crafts for all. Pizza by the slice will be available for donation towards the Unity Des Plaines Youth and Family Ministry, so don't forget to wear your costume. I thought I might be a platform assistant. That would be very scary. Okay. And now we have a love offering, and there's a basket at the doorway for you to leave your tithes and offerings. You may donate by check, cash, or credit card. We're grateful for your prosperity consciousness and give thanks for your gift to bring the unity message forward. And now, if you'll join me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. And now we may stand, if you wish and can, and sing the peace song and then the prayer for protection.